So a couple of weeks ago, I had an idea. Now that idea was to combine two of my favorite things in the entirety of the world and make something where I could create a video here on my channel, share content with you, but most importantly, share that love and passion that I have with you guys. Now, there's two of them here. Number one, Lego. Obviously, I like Lego a little bit, so that's kind of a given. But the second one is something you all might not really know about me. I actually love naval aviation, specifically the Top Gun movies. I saw the first one way back when I was a kid, and some of you may have heard of this movie called Top Gun Maverick. It's one of the most popular movies of the entire year, grossing over $1 billion. It's a sequel to the infamous Top Gun. Now, I've seen this movie an absurd amount of times, and most importantly, I left the theater saying to myself, ooh, I want to build that. Now, the issue, if you've seen any Top Gun movie, is how do you build that when the majority of the cool scenes happening are in the sky, in the atmosphere, with only a couple of planes? So the big question is, how do I show my love of Lego and of Top Gun in the same video? That, my friends, is where this comes in. This is the custom Brick Veteran F-18 fighter. This is an absolutely fantastic build. It's minifigure scale as far as I'm aware, and today I want to talk to you guys and show you guys all about this magnificent build. But first, let's give a huge thanks to our sponsor for today's video, Whatnot. Now, Whatnot is an online buying and selling marketplace where you can sign up with the app and join auctions where you can bid on different collectibles such as Funko Pops, trading cards, and also Lego, which is where we come in. Now, down below the top link in my description, there will be a sign up referral code. If you sign up using my code, you get $10 in free credit you can use on the app for any of your purchases. It gets applied automatically, but most importantly, I'm excited to announce that I'm actually returning to Whatnot for auctions Friday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Now, let me give you a little sneak peek of some of these auctions I'm gonna have. We have Captain Rex, Jedi Bob, and a bunch of other amazing figures, and every single thing you see here starts at $1. And not to mention, there are some pretty fantastic giveaways. Number one, we have a brand new sealed Mandalorian N1 Starfighter that we're gonna be giving away. All you have to do is be there. And on top of that, we also have a brand new sealed Bad Batch shuttle. Both of these are going to be given away, again, coming up Friday, July 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern time. All you gotta do is sign up with my link and be there. I'll leave a link down below to my profile. Make sure you give me a follow. Huge thanks to Whatnot for sponsoring today's video, and I can't wait to see you guys at the auction on Friday. So really quick, down below in the comments, let me know if you've seen Top Gun Maverick, if you like the movie, if you don't like it, or what you just love about the movie. Now, me personally, I love the fighters, the naval aviation aspect of it, the fighters, the dogfights, the taking off, the jet engines, the G-force, all that great stuff. I start nerding out about it, and today I want to give you guys the rundown of this beautiful, amazing model. Now, before we get started, two shout outs. Number one, shout out to Shy Time. My man helped me out so much when it came to finding the right model to build and helping me just amazingly. So Shy, thank you, my man. And number two, you guys are going to see in the time lapse and throughout today's video, this is actually a custom building mat from my friends Danny and Spencer over at mock.industries. This is a fantastic mat. Links are down below in the description if you want to go and check it out. So before we dive into the model, I find it only fitting that we maybe play some cool music and get to building this thing. So let's get started. So after about maybe 3 hours of building, depending on how fast you build, here we have it. And the first thought that actually came to my mind was just how large this is. And for starters, I do want to walk through some of the basic functions and things that you can look forward to if you do decide to ever build something like this. So first off, just to show the sheer size of the model, here's what it looks like with the minifigure outside of the fighter itself. Now this, I believe, is, if it's not minifigure scale, it's very close to minifigure scale. And what that means is basically, if you were to take this Lego minifigure here in the cockpit of the fighter and pretend this is a human, the rest of the jet here ideally is going to be scaled somewhat similarly. Now, of course, with Lego, it's hard to get that exact one-to-one, but from what I can tell, from what all my friends are saying, this is pretty darn accurate. Now, after I finished building the model, it actually had a really cool sticker sheet come in. Now, this was, as far as I'm aware, a model that you could have bought directly through Brick Veteran, but they had to stop making building kits, but there was a sticker sheet that you could purchase separately, which adds all the decals, all the cool numbers, the logos. So you can see here some of the really cool details that this sticker adds. Now, I'm not a military expert. I really don't know what the majority of this means, but just to show you guys some of the cool stuff. Right here towards the back of the plane has to be my favorite. You have the Navy sticker right underneath the plane, sort of towards the belly. You have the 106 number, you have the different icons and all that kind of stuff. Now, one of my favorite things about this fighter is the cockpit, how it looks, and its functionality. Now, there are actually two different types of F-18 models. There is the one with the single-seater and the one with the double-seater. Now, I chose to build the single-seater. Ideally, this is sort of like a Maverick-styled video. Now, here we have the cockpit piece, which does fold completely up, and you can see here the interior for where the pilot is placed. Now, let's talk a little bit about this minifigure. Now, this is a little bit of a custom/non-custom minifigure. Pretty much everything about this minifigure is custom except for the oxygen mask. This is actually a Lego legit, authentic oxygen mask. I believe it's from the Spider-Man drone duel set. Now, obviously, this isn't a replica one-to-one of what Maverick or any of the team wore in the movie. That color is a little bit harder to come by nowadays, but you get the point across with the amazing details on the torso, the legs, the back of the torso. The 360 wraparound printing for this entire thing is fantastic. I love the visor. I love the oxygen mask. Overall, it's just a beautiful minifigure that I think complements a beautiful fighter. And you can also see here right in front of the cockpit area, this is a custom printed tile that came with the sticker sheets. It has all the cool heads-up display, all the super cool nerdy gadgets and buttons and gizmos and all that kind of stuff that I don't know anything about. I'm not going to try and talk about it because I'll sound like a moron, but there are some fantastic details in the rest of this fighter. Now, what's also really cool is that on either side of these wings here, the extended part of the wing actually folds up, and you'll commonly see this happen when these fighters are in storage. You might have even seen it on the aircraft carrier from the movie as well. And what's nice about this is it's super sturdy, it fits nice and smooth, which is great. But I think my favorite angle of this fighter has to be the rear of it. This is where you can see the engines, the rear flaps, all the cool details, and you got some really cool symmetrical shots, which just makes my brain get really excited about this thing. Now, the stand is also super important. So as you can see here, the stand can be completely oriented upright, but then it can also be oriented on a slight incline to where the plane can be sort of gaining altitude, which is really cool. And it's also very sturdy. It uses a bunch of different black Technic pieces, pins, tiles, a bunch of different things, and basically gravity as well to give you that option to display the fighter in basically whatever orientation you'd like to display it in. And what's also nice about this guy is that the fighter's connected by axle pins. Now, traditionally in maybe Star Wars UCS sets, you have it being held in by gravity or other things like that. But with this one, because it is such a larger model, there are axle pins that go through both the base stand and the fighter. So this thing is locked in pretty well. It's not going to fall over. And you could also hold it pretty nicely. If you want to swoosh around, give it a fly, you can hold it pretty comfortably from underneath here, and it goes together really well. Now, speaking of underneath the plane, let's talk about some of the stuff underneath the wings here. Now, I am not an expert. Again, I don't know the specific armaments, but I do know some things. So the two larger pods on either side of the aircraft, I believe, are extra fuel pods. It's sort of one of the things that the F-18, as far as I could do with my research, it was really known for being able to go really long distances using these sort of external fuel pods or canisters, I guess you could say, which is really cool. And then on either side here, you have two more missile armaments, which are super cool. I'm assuming they're pretty self-explanatory for what they are, and then they also have more on either side of the wing as well. One thing I forgot to mention, right behind each wing there are the flaps. I believe you could put these up and down if you're taking off or wanting to maybe slow yourself down for landing on an aircraft carrier, but these can move up and down, which is just a really cool function that I didn't know existed and I wasn't expecting, but now that I see it, I appreciate it so much. Now, I think that wraps up pretty much everything about this fighter, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. I know this is a super different type of content than you're used to seeing here on the channel, but the amount of love and respect I have for the Top Gun movie, I just had this weird urge to bring you guys something that you guys could also like share the love of the movie with me. So hopefully this was a super fun video. One more time, again, thanks to Whatnot for sponsoring today's video. Stay tuned Friday, July 22nd, 6 p.m. Eastern time for my auction. A bunch of cool stuff. I'll leave links down below. Make sure you sign up with my code. That's pretty much all I got for today, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna go fly this thing and play with it for hours and do nothing the rest of my day. Take care.